What's that you're already in, mate?
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the. Actually, I'm hijacking Matt's channel. We're on Music to Save the World.
I'm on board with it, don't worry. I'm on board with it.
And we're here to talk about Matt's brand new track, Himalaya. But of course, to extend my condolences for England's amazing run in the World Cup. How are you feeling?
I mean, yeah, I'm sad, but Love Island's still on in it, so we've got, still got that to look forward to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting time, isn't it? Exciting time for them. All right. So we're going to be kind of nice and focused on these sessions. We're big fans of the 60-minute long wrangling interviews, but we're going to try and keep this kind of nice and tight. So we're going to start off with music to the playlists that we have on Musicto are not specifically genre driven. They really are built around emotions and behaviors, and what if you're somebody looking for a way to feel or looking to change or looking to motivate yourself, that's what these lists are for. And when I look at Music to Save the World, there is one of these, if I'm feeling down or I need a boost, it's definitely one of those playlists that I go to get myself picked up. So we've got this brand new track, Himalaya. It's stunning. The feedback has been great. The early response on Spotify in terms of thousands of streams has been great. But Matt, give us a little insight into when you look at the playlist and you look at the emotion and the behavior. Tell us what you were trying to, what you were thinking about when you were putting this track together. What were the emotions and behaviors that you were considering?
I mean, for the longest time, I've been doing, Save the World, and it's always been, picking great songs that are just capture some sort of aspects of making you feel like life isn't like you're not doing it all wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's all right to feel certain ways, and it's all right. And as long as you keep getting up in the morning and you keep cracking on, then you're doing well. You are a hero in your own right. And it just made sense to then, write a song, write my own song for that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? That sort of feeling. We'd done it before with Clarity, where, that was written specifically for the vibe of the playlist, and it worked really well. And it was like, well, it was no brainer really when it was like, well, the next one should be for Save the World, and it should be about, tackling some sort of aspect of, the daily struggle. And so Himalaya, quite famous for being mountains. I think they're the most famous mountains out there. Everest is the biggest, the main player, the star player. And it's a very sort of common image, isn't it? The idea of conquering mountains. We even have a playlist, Conquer Mountains, because it is such a superhuman feat. And so that's where that imagery stems from, the idea of Himalaya. Everyone's got their own little personal Everest to climb every single day. You're always taking on some kind of challenge. If you're not, tell me why, because I want to live that life as well. How are you managing to get away with nothing, difficult going on? I think the average person is always waking up with something on the mind. Knowing they've got to do something that day that's not, going to be easy, that is going to feel a bit uphill. And it's nice though, isn't it? That contrast, sort of, the climb makes the descent more smooth. It makes it more, enjoyable. You got to take, the rough with the smooth, and all those cliches that we don't need to reiterate. And I think that's sort of reflected in the uplifting. Like I deliberately wrote the music itself to be uplifting. So it's sort of like, yeah, okay, you've got a difficult climb, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Just because you're having, to face some challenges in the day, if you adopt the right attitude to it, it can all be seen as, a positive thing, and you can still have fun as you're doing it, and you can still enjoy your life, even when it's not going super swimmingly.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Because we end up being amateur philosophers, don't we?
All the time, yeah.
you have to have a vision of how the world works when you're writing or you're creating.
It's artwork, you know. That's the whole point of it. You're trying to reflect on your own experience as a human being and try and put it into some perspective, and then share it with people, and hopefully they go, "Oh yeah, I know what you're on about." Because a lot of the time they go, "What?"
But it's the context that I think that just gets me not excited, but it puts that grin on my face, because it's completely different from how music has been. It's like, as an artist, when you're creating for the Save the World, is it different than how you used to be back in the day when you were writing, when you were, you know, putting out songs without thinking?
There was, you know, like if I look back on my old songs, there was always like a vibe. There was always a feel. You know what I mean? There was a point to it, but it was never focused. Even when it was focused, which is one of my songs, it was not focused. You know, having an end goal in mind when you're writing a song, like what is the purpose of it? You know, it makes the song. You can. The thing about I mean personally, I've had this conversation before, but I think that every song really should be geared towards making someone feel a particular way, or at least try and help them to feel that particular way. You can't really control it. And before I started writing in the way that I write now, it was kind of just guesswork. And a lot of the time it'd be like, I'd write the song and then at the end and go, oh, so that's what the vibe is. Okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? And that means it probably might not translate that well. You know what I mean? So like Focus was a breakup song, you know what I mean? It was me kind of like, you know, responding to a bad breakup. But I mean, there's nothing about it apart from the one lyric to suggest that that's a breakup song. It's just a song, really. And I've imposed meaning on it. So it's not really that, you know, sort of, it could connect with people, but it's a risk whether it would. When you write a song with a very specific goal and emotion and behavior in mind, it makes it that much more likely that it's going to resonate with the right kind of people. And that's all an artist really should aim to do, I think. You want to be resonating with people. It's no good people listening to it once going, oh, that was fun, and then they never come back to it. You know, the music that I listen to, the music that I love, the music that I can't stop and listen to on repeat, is all music that resonates with me. You know what I mean? It really just gets to you. You know what I mean? And yeah, it might be because there's a really cool percussion part in it. You go, I want to hear that again. Or the guitar solo is just beautiful, or whatever it is. But if the actual song doesn't make you, like, you know, doesn't get into your head and into your heart, then it's not a powerful medium of communication, is it? Which is what, to me, I mean, again, I know people that do music for different reasons, so it's all about why you're doing it in the first place. But for me, I'm trying to, you know, establish, you know, an unspoken connection with people of a similar mindset and that, like, you know, the same sort of thing as me. So to me, it's important that it resonates with them and it captures the feelings that I want them to feel when they listen to it, and experience the artwork, because it's just as important.
We'll talk about the artwork in a wee bit at the end, but so, you know, you've written this track for Save the World. You've written the track with the ideas of, you know, overcoming obstacles, you know, the mountains there being, you know, that metaphor that you've got to climb up and get over. So, you know, take us into the track a little more. So, you know, tell us how you set that up, but maybe, you know, some similar artists that, you know, maybe not influence, but if somebody likes those artists, you might recognize or might resonate with the track a little deeper.
So the whole point of the song is that it's a journey, you know. For the longest time, the tagline on my website, which is Ellipsis.com, you don't go there. That's subtle enough.
Link below.
Link below in the description. What was I saying? Yeah, so the longest time the tagline has been "The journey starts here," and for ages it was just like, well, that's cool, isn't it? That's a cool thing to have at the top of your website. People think that's cool, and then it was like, maybe we should elaborate a bit more on what that journey actually is. And you know, it was around the same time that I started putting hot air balloons into like every medium of artwork. And there's one of the people that I work with, she was like, when she saw the artwork for Clarity, and she was like, "Hey, where's your balloons?" Do you know what I mean? So people have twigged. So I probably should have put balloons back in this one. And it is this notion of a journey, and the whole idea of the track itself, musically, is that it emulates a two-peak structure. You know what I mean? So there's three peaks. There's a little peak in the middle, but you know what I mean. You know how it goes. It goes up, and it peaks, and then you know, and then it comes down, and it goes up again, and so it's like a mountain range. Hey, and so, but the main thing was about getting on that journey finally. You know, so it should really. We've been saying the journey begins, but it should really say the journey finally begins. You know what I mean? That's a bit more of an accurate way of describing it, and that's the idea. Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to take you on a journey. So on a musical journey, as well as on the meaningful journey that we've discussed in terms of the actual motivation behind the song. So it was really important to me that if I'm going to call the song Himalaya, and if we're going to go for all this mountainous imagery, that, you know, I took as much as I could from, you know, I took a lot of influence from, you know, Tibetan or Nepal, you know, just like Eastern influence, you know what I mean, without it being too sort of like ham-fisted and a bit, you know, appropriation or whatever you want to call it. So it had to be subtle, but like the lead instrument is a Persian santur. I don't know what one looks like. It was just one of the presets in my sampler. So you know, I wrote this, you know, nice little guitar-y kind of line, and then let the santur play it. And that's kind of the vein that I went down. Do you know what I mean? Because it was all supposed to, you know, match the idea of the mountains. So the drums have a very cavernous sort of feel, like, you know, like they're echoing through the mountains. The bass has got like a deep valley growl. All the instrumentation, all the choirs and everything, it's all supposed to just make you feel as though you're standing on one of these peaks in the Himalayas, and it's all around you, and you're actually there. You know what I mean? So that's what the track was geared to do, was to actually deliver you to the mountains and make you feel like, you know, if you close your eyes and you just put the music on, that you could physically be stood there and actually take you on a journey. Because by doing that, and then obviously we have you know, we'll talk about the video in a bit, but it's all designed to literally move you along on a journey rather than just being a static sort of, oh yeah, there could be mountains, but you know, it doesn't matter if it's not. It's supposed to be very deliberately, you know, heavily influenced by the location, by the geography of the scene. Because if you like, it's like one of the things that annoys me the most, and I've said this to Tommy yesterday when we were chatting, is that there's nothing worse than when a song is a brilliant soundscape and you really feel like, oh god, yeah, I can picture a place when I listen to this, and then the artwork's just like the artist's name and a candle or something, and you're like, whoa, you missed a great opportunity there to really push home the imagery. So for me, it's all about consistency. If I'm going to talk about a journey and bang on about it, stick it at the top of my website, deliver, take them on a journey. If I'm going to call a song Himalaya, make it sound Himalayan, you know what I mean? And it was one of those things, it was sort of like, it started life. There's a song called Spoken Retribution by Flume. Well, what a surprise, he's mentioned Flume, you know what I mean? And I loved the drums, you know what I mean? Like really gritty hip-hop style drums. And Himalaya started life as this drum pattern, and it was called Himalaya in one of my Logic project files. And it was a completely different riff. All this, you know what I mean? But then I just took those drums, copied them into a new project file, and then wrote Himalaya on the top of it. So definitely, you know, if you're into like that sort of gritty hip hop that Flume is so good at, then you're gonna love this track. Musically, it's probably most aligned to the song. Oh God, I can't remember, is it Kiara or Kerala? I think it's Kiara by Bonobo. It's got a lot of similarities. I think if you like Bonobo, you're gonna love Himalaya. I actually said this to you. I was like, Andy, I think Bonobo fans are gonna really like this. And then I think I've really got into Adiza as well. I don't know, is that Adiza? I'm really into them at the moment, and they've got this sort of big vibe, you know, this sort of like spiritual sort of sound. I think is the best way to describe it. Everything sounds massive. Everything's just big, and you know, I was really getting into them just as I was sort of finishing up Himalaya. So a lot of that influence kind of worked its way in as well. You know, just like big, you know, kick drums and stuff like that. Cool.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Cam, who one of our newer curators, who runs the Music to Practice yoga playlist, and I started yoga this year, and I'm loving it. But you know, this is kind of old school Iyengar, and it's, you know, an old school teacher. I would love to do yoga with music, but he was all over Himalaya saying, it's going to find its way into his classes.
I'm looking forward to that because I told you actually I've got a friend who's a yogista. Is it a yogi or is it a yogista? It doesn't matter. But she, like, when she heard Clarity, she was like, "This would be great for certain types of yoga flow."
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Maybe I should get into yoga. That seems to be the thing. I keep going for all these sort of like yoga-inspired vibes. So maybe that could bring out my inner clarity.
I highly recommend it. So to finish off, tell us. I mean, it's not the one, you know, unique thing, but tell us something that you're kind of stoked about for this track. Tell us something that, you know, that we don't know yet.
I mean, again, so the vibe is conquering an obstacle, which, you know, the flip side of that is achieving a goal, isn't it? You know what I mean? A personal, you know, climbing my own Everest, you know what I mean? And I'm always looking to, every time I do a song, every time I do a project, I'm always looking to learn something new. I'm always looking to improve my craft, and I'm always looking to do something that I've not done before. And in Himalaya, with regards to the project as a whole, it's the first time that the entire thing has been like created by me from the ground up. And by that I mean, so Clarity obviously was my own work. It's my, you know, is an original piece of artwork, and all the artwork was. But the artwork in particular was mostly like photo manipulation. And as much as I've always liked photo manipulation, and I've always, you know, loved the things that you can do with it, it's always still felt like you're, you know, still using someone else's creativity. It's someone else. I mean, yeah, you could go out and take your own photos, but you know, I mean, I'm not a very good. That's another skill I'd have to learn. So it's always felt a bit like it's not as mine as it could be. And Himalaya is the first time when I've literally gone into. It's the first time I've used Illustrator. I've always been in Photoshop, so I've gone into Adobe Illustrator and sketched out all of the different pieces, and then, you know, moved them all into After Effects and made them all move and twirl and do mad stuff. And it's my, you know, and with the music as well. Apart from obviously like the Persian Santo, which we've mentioned before, a couple of other little bits. All the sounds and all the noises that have been used have been created by myself. You know, it's like 100. Like, I think musically it's like 95% just me. I've made it all, and it's a really nice feeling to know that, like, basically everything that I've got with Himalaya is from scratch. You know, even little bits that, you know, where it'd be like, oh, it'd just be easy to just throw in a photo of a cloud here. It's like, no. Make it yourself, because it'll take on. I can't really draw a cloud, you know what I mean? So whatever cloud comes out is going to be stylized and unique to me. And it's like, you've never seen a cloud like this before, have you, boys and girls? I'm really proud. It's been an achievement. I feel like I've conquered drawing, and you know, like, that's like the reason why I've always liked photo manipulation is because I can't draw. So it's always been like, well, I can create art without it. I'll just go around it, you know what I mean? Kind of like how people who can't play piano can still produce music if they can use the piano roll. It's been a similar sort of thing to me. And now I feel like, you know, it's always been like an Everest to conquer. And now I feel like I'm finally, maybe not at the summit, but I'm definitely somewhere on the slope, you know what I mean? And that's really nice, because I feel like a year ago I could not have done what I've done with Himalaya. There's absolutely no way. Especially in the time constraint that we had for Himalaya because I'm a dick, and I decided, yeah, all right, let's do it in a month so that we can launch it at the top of the Musicto summer playlist that's going out soon and that you should all be excited about. And that put a huge amount of pressure on us, didn't it? Because it's like, all right, hang on, we've got to create quite a lot of stuff now in a very short space of time. And it was to the point where, like, I mastered the track and did the artwork for it on the same day. You know what I mean? Like, that Sunday when I woke up and I was just, like, in the zone, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I'd, like, accidentally sleep meditated or something, but I woke up, like, whoa, let's just go! And, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like, I'd had a rough mix of a track, and then I took it to the mastered finished product. It was on Revelator the next day. The artwork was done, and I just went to bed feeling like the first time I've ever felt like truly accomplished. You know what I mean? Like, I did something like really, really pretty amazing today. And it was just really fitting for the track. You know what I mean? The track's about conquering obstacles against all odds, and I bloody did it. So it was beautiful, you know. I
think that's super cool, and it's. I mean, that you're right. It's the very essence of the track, isn't it?
Yeah. Live by what you live. What? Preach what you. What is that? Practice what you preach. Live by your own standards. Don't yell us no.
So I did the write-up for Himalaya. You should check it out. And there's also great links in that write-up that will take you back to some of the earlier tracks that Matt had on the playlist. And it really is a super cool playlist. It's got great music, but it's also got great write-ups. Add Himalaya to it. Go and listen to the track on Spotify, move it over to your own playlists. You know, the more interaction you guys give us, the more visible it becomes.
And put it on when you're in the bath.
There you go.
Yep. Music's for the There's a playlist.
Anyway.
Music's to make a bubble beard. I'm sorry.
Now the vision of Jenko with a bubble beard is doing my head in. People, it's been great. It's been real. Check out the track. It's bloody awesome. Watch out for next Wednesday when the video will drop, and it's super bloody cool.
I hope it'll be next Wednesday. Let's see what happens.
Matt, thank you very much. Peoples, we'll see you around and about.
I love you all very much. Some more than others. And you. I love you the most.